começar a gravar. Okay, we are recording. So look at here. Is this picture from the present or from the past?
The past.
Past, okay. What about this one? Past. Do people listen to the radio nowadays? What do you think? Okay. And what's this? Do you know the name?
Datilografia?
Yes, but in English, do you know the name of this machine?
No.
It's typewriter.
Typewriter.
Yes, typewriter. Se alguém já jogou Resident Evil na vida, a gente, quando salva o jogo, a gente salva em uma dessas, okay? We save the game in a typewriter. What about this? Is this telephone old or new?
Very old.
Of course, very old. Look at this. What is she doing here?
Writing a letter.
She's writing a letter. Do you write a letter to the people you like?
No.
How do you communicate with people that you like? Or with your family, friends? How do you communicate with them?
Text message.
Text messages. What else? Internet, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter. What about this? What's this? What do you think? What do you think is this? No ideas?
Garage.
This is a baby car. You know, a baby car that we take the baby to a ride.
Só que eu não sei se tem outro nome.
Yes, there is a specific name for baby cars that we carry the babies around. It's called stroller. Okay, that's the name for a baby car. It's called a stroller. Okay, so I'm going to erase here, otherwise someone might get.
A máquina de datilografia?
Oh, it's like this. Type writer. Okay, you are going to see in a few minutes to match the names and etc. Okay. Oh, this is another thing. Okay. Well, nowadays we have different technologies, right? So now you are going to work in pairs and in small groups in the breakout rooms, and you are going to talk about how people used to communicate in the past, and how do they communicate nowadays. Follow the examples. Open your books, page 74, please. I forgot to ask the page. Okay, so for this activity in here, I'm going to share with you the picture again. In the past, people wrote letters. Nowadays, people still write letters and they send email messages and they text, okay? Like to write messages on your phone. So now I'm going to separate you into the breakout rooms now, and you are going to discuss, okay, all the technologies present here. For example, people who used to write letters. Look at picture 2. Are there girls studying with the boys?
No.
No, there isn't. It's an only boys class, okay? In the past, people used to what? Separate boys and girls to study. Look at here. What are they doing? Picture 3. They are studying, they are doing, a research. So they are using books. Nowadays, how do we do research? Do we still use books or do we use the internet? Number 4, where is the woman? Where do you think she is? Yeah, she's at the salon, she's at the hairdresser, okay? Look, she used to use, in the past, women used to use machines to curl their hair, okay? Para cachear the hair. Look, it was a machine to do that. Nowadays, we have like a simple piece of iron. We put our hairs on it and then it's perfect. Number 5. Look at here. What is the man doing?
Listen, radio.
Yes, listening to the radio. And then you are going to compare before and now. And the woman in number 6. In the past, we didn't call a person directly. We used to call to the telephonist, I guess, and she would transfer you to the house you wanted to talk, okay? So, like, okay, here is Bianca, and transfer me to Guilherme Amorim's house, okay? And then she would transfer the call to your house. In number 7, what's this? That is a streetcar, okay? On the streetcar, we used to walk around the city. What about nowadays? How do people go from place to place? And number 8, what are they doing? Number 8, what are the boys doing?
Jogando baralho. Acho que
They are playing cards.
É.
Yes, they are playing cards. Nowadays, what do the boys play? Fortnite, Free Fire, PUBG, and go on, okay? So now I'm going to separate you and you are going to compare the pictures following the model, okay? So you can go to the breakout room and practice and discuss.
A minha internet caiu e eu não. Na hora de ir pra breakout room, acabou que.
Tá, eu vou te mover para 2 e depois vou mover para 1. Fica atento aí. Pronto.
que aconteceu?
Eu te movi para eu te falei, vou te mover para Breakout Room 2 e depois vou te mover para 1.
Tá indo pra
Vai
2
para
de novo.
2. Sim, vai para 2. De lá eu vou te mudar para 1. Vou pausar a gravação agora porque eles estão nas Breakout Rooms. Hello, Daisy.
Hello.
Hello, Daisy.
Para te ver. Tá muito. Ah, não, tá não.
Hello, Daisy. Tá me escutando?
Tô sim.
Okay.
Pega
Let's
meu
wait
link.
for the guys to come back from the breakout room.
É.
Dá um mapa fora que sua mãe vai estudar aqui. Sabe caneta, essas coisas?
Eu não sei.
Finish? Yeah. Okay, so let's discuss the questions on activity B. Oh, the question. Now we can do this as a whole class. We don't need to go to the breakout room. Look at it here. How do people will do these things in the future? For example, how will us human beings communicate with other people in the future? Guys, how do we will communicate in the future?
Believe will be more fast and more easy. Mas eu não tenho nenhuma noção de como seria isso. Não sei, eu vou fazer aparelho. Não tenho nenhuma noção sobre isso.
Okay. Who else? Que mais? In the future, people will still buy paper books. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What about transportation? Do you think we will have flying cars in the future?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What kind of cars do you think we are going to drive in the future?
I think cars more... carros mais ecoeficientes. Mais
Eco-efficient.
Eco-efficient.
Yes, eco-efficient or eco-friendly, you know, like electric cars or hybrid cars. Yeah. Nowadays we have hybrid cars, but not in Brazil. I guess we don't have. It's from a brand called Prius. Okay. Now I have another questions for you. How is pollution affecting our environment? Oh, not this one now, the next one. Let's go to letter C, okay? What's the impact of modern life, okay, and all technological changes on the environment? What's the impact of our modern life in the world? Environment means meio ambiente, okay? I'm waiting for your answers. What's the impact of the modern life in and all the technological changes on the environment? For example, nowadays we are facing a pandemic, and that's because people don't have money, especially because it came from China, and people there, they have habits to eat strange animals. So the scientists are studying if that came from a bat or from the pangolin. I don't know the name in English. So it's an animal with, it looks like an armadillo. Armadillo eats tapu. So it's similar to that. Other things that we are facing. Climate change, okay? Because of all the technological development in industries. Because of that, one example is here in Marabá. We are in May, and last week it rained almost every day. That's not normal for this city. Essa semana já começou quente que só. But in the previous week, it rained a lot, okay? So we have pandemic, climate change, but also the improvement of communication, okay? We also had the improvement of communication. People started talking with each other more. And I have now the question I asked before. How is pollution affecting the environment? How is pollution affecting the environment? What do you think?
We have some negative impact on the environment because they use more than the environment can give.
People are exploring too much. Who else has a different answer? Guilherme, Daisy, Milena. One more question for you. Are companies and, tira isso daqui, and government trying to preserve the environment? Are companies and the government trying to preserve the environment? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
What are they doing to preserve the environment? For example, last year we had a big problem with the burnings here in the Amazon area, but nothing was done by the government to contain it, okay? One example is that, it's the opposite. They are trying to destroy and explore even more this region over here. The government think that they need to like eliminate the laws regarding the environment. You know, they have to explore more, especially indigenous areas that we have in here, okay? And now, can you think of examples of companies who, examples of campaigns, I'm sorry. Can you think of examples of campaigns to preserve the environment? Campanhas de preservação do meio ambiente. O que vocês lembram aí?
Meu Deus. Não lembro de nenhuma. Mas eu sei que já teve.
Teve bastante. Davi,
Teve.
Guilherme, Milena, o que vocês lembram aí? Miguel, para com isso!
Bom, campanhas eu não sei, mas eu sei que tem um Tratado de Paris, né? Que né, faz com que não devaste as áreas amazônicas, né? Para não afetar a temperatura global.
Certo. And the last question, do we produce only what we need to survive? The human beings, do we human beings produce only what we need to survive, or
No.
are
No.
we consumists?
Very consumist.
We are
Consumists.
We are consumists, which means sometimes we buy unnecessary things, okay?
Yes.
Em português, um exemplo a gente está vendo durante esse período de pandemia. Gente, tem gente comprando roupa, tem gente comprando, gastando grana com um monte de coisa, tipo, fútil, mas pra quê? A gente tá, tipo, tá todo mundo em casa, não tem festa, não tem formatura, não tem nada, e o povo tá... E você fica tipo...
Tipo aquelas máscaras de R$ 300.
Exatamente. Qual a necessidade? Um paninho, ó, cadê? Um paninho desse daqui, ó, uma bandaninha, ela já serve como máscara. Porque ela tem, o pano dele é respirável, né, fino, você dobra. Fica parecendo que vai pra manifestação tacar fogo nos outros. Ah, moça, se protege, taca fogo, especialmente em racista. Enfim.
É muita vontade de gastar dinheiro, né? Que o povo tem.
É muita, cara. Eu fico vendo assim, fico tipo, gente, fica em casa, pelo amor de Deus, a gente vai morrer se isso continuar. E a gente não vê, tipo, o Marabães está inteiro na rua. Ontem rolou no Twitter um vídeo, Orla tava lotada. Aí teve que bater polícia, guarda municipal e DMTU para mandar o povo embora. Tava, ó. Mas enfim. Human beings, seres humanos. So let's move to the next one. Okay, activity 7 on the next page. And here, for this activity, you are not going to work in pairs, but you are going to do this by yourself. Talk to a classmate and read and decide if the statements are true or false, okay? What do you think?
Okay.
Write true or false with your opinion. Then you are going to listen and check, okay? So you have like 2 minutes to read, put true or false. Okay? Can I play?
Ok.
Can I play? Okay, so now I will play and you are going to check your answers.
Unit 6, Activity 7.
We're back with Professor Ducker. Professor Ducker is an environment expert and he's here to talk about some shocking new research. Welcome to our show, Professor Ducker.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Professor Ducker, we have been discussing the impact of technology on our planet. Can you share with us some of the results of your research?
Sure. Advances in technology have certainly made our lives easier. However, the impact on the environment has mostly been negative. Studies have shown that, based on current trends, the global temperature will rise 6 degrees Celsius by 2100. Due to the rise in temperature and the destruction of the environment, half of all amphibians in Europe will be extinct by 2050.
Wow! Half of all amphibians will be extinct by 2050? That's going to cause a huge impact on the environment.
Definitely. And that's not all. Up to 30% of bird species will be extinct by 2100.
You mean 30% of all bird species?
Yes, 30% of all bird species in the world. And unfortunately, if nothing is done, extinctions will peak by 2060.
And all this just because of the rise in temperature?
Yes, the rise in temperature can cause a lot of damage. For example, the melting of Arctic ice will increase drastically by 2030, and that may also contribute to the extinction of many species.
So what you mean is that the destruction of the environment may contribute to the rise in temperature, and the rise in temperature can be fatal to several species.
That's correct. Take, for example, the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. Studies show that nearly half of the jungle will be destroyed by 2050, and it could be almost entirely gone by 2100, which, in other words, will also contribute to the rise in temperature. So as you can see, it's a vicious cycle.
Repeat.
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 Unit 6, Activity 7.
We're back with Professor Ducker. Professor Ducker is an environment expert and he's here to talk about some shocking new research. Welcome to our show, Professor Ducker.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Professor Ducker, we have been discussing the impact of technology on our planet. Can you share with us some of the results of your research?
Sure. Advances in technology have certainly made our lives easier. However, the impact on the environment has mostly been negative. Studies have shown that, based on current trends, the global temperature will rise 6 degrees Celsius by 2100. Due to the rise in temperature and the destruction of the environment, half of all amphibians in Europe will be extinct by 2050.
Wow! Half of all amphibians will be extinct by 2050? That's going to cause a huge impact on the environment.
Definitely. And that's not all. Up to 30% of bird species will be extinct by 2100.
You mean 30% of all bird species?
Yes, 30% of all bird species in the world. And unfortunately, if nothing is done, extinctions will peak by 2060.
And all this just because of the rise in temperature?
Yes, the rise in temperature can cause a lot of damage. For example, the melting of Arctic ice will increase drastically by 2030, and that may also contribute to the extinction of many species.
So what you mean is that the destruction of the environment may contribute to the rise in temperature, and the rise in temperature can be fatal to several species.
That's correct. Take, for example, the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. Studies show that nearly half of the jungle will be destroyed by 2050, and it could be almost entirely gone by 2100, which, in other words, will also contribute to the rise in temperature. So as you can see, it's a vicious cycle.
Okay, so let's check.
Okay.
Number 1, true or false?
False.
False.
Yes. Number 2,
True.
3,
True.
Oh, true.
False.
False.
4.
False.
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 Yes. 5.
True.
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 False.
True.
Hã?
False. Number 5 is false.
False.
Number 6.
True.
Yes.
True.
7.
False.
True.
True.
8.
True.
True.
Oh, true. Yes.
Your answers.
Desliga o som aí, professora do meu.
Okay. Finished. So now let's move to activity 8C. Oh, 7C. What other problems has technology been causing to the environment? Okay, I want to hear from you. What other problems has technology been causing to the environment? What are the impacts? What are the impacts, guys?
Vai, calma aí.
Guilherme, Davi, what are the impacts of the technology on the environment?
The technological trash.
Trash, okay. Overproduction of trash. What else?
Fire in the forest. Como seria
What?
queimados? Como seria queimados?
Burnings.
Queimados.
Burnings.
Burning.
Yes. Okay, what else? Okay, we have, let me write in here. Burnings. Excessive trash. Okay. We also have climate change. Any other problem technology has been causing on the environment?
A reciclagem dos produtos celulares.
In this case, it's problem, okay? Caso é só problema,
Ok.
tem solução.
Pois é, a falta da reciclagem.
Yes, lack of recycling.
O descarte, que muitas vezes não tem.
Wrong discarding of old cell phone and battery, ok? É um grande problema que a gente tem aqui na cidade. Aqui, o único lugar que eu vi onde nós temos um local para se desfazer de baterias, de
lá no líder.
Pilha, é no líder. Fora lá, eu não conheço lugar nenhum.
É.
Inclusive, eu tenho que juntar as pilhas naquele caso tudo e jogar lá. Ok?
Tá certo.
So, pois é. So, guys, we are going to finish for today and continue next class. Okay?
Ok.
Ok.
Bye bye. Have a nice
Bem.
day and have a nice week.
Tchau, tchau.